Hi everyone, C Chronicles here. Welcome and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In case you're joining us here for the first time, my content consists of mostly fragrance reviews, but I do throw in, vlogs, fashion content from time to time. And if that sounds like something that interests you guys, please do consider clicking the red subscribe button and joining the family. I would appreciate you becoming part of this family. And to those who are returning, thank you so much for your continued support. I do not take it for granted. Now, as you've seen on the thumbnail, I am going to try and fit in, let's say, between 50 to 60 dupes in this particular video. I'm not going to dwell on notes, but if any notes pop up, I'm going to obviously tell you. I just show you different perfumes from different houses that smell like or are duping or are inspired by or feel. The first one is going to be from Swiss Arabia, and this is Casablanca. And when I did review it, I did say that it did kind of feel a lot like it was inspired by Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Bel. Okay, I'm going to put a close-up of it, and absolutely, but in as much as a lot of people prefer this one because it's beastly and it's got like a very caramel forward kind of vibe, I actually prefer the original, but to each his own. So I will say Swiss Arabia Casablanca does feel a lot like Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Bel. Next up is a cheapie. It's also caramel based. This is Ghost Orb of Night, the one that comes obviously in this like a bronze color, and this one smells a lot to my nose like Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. So if you love Carolina Herrera's Good Girl and you want a lighter take on it, a caramel forward kind of scent, very candy forward there, but less cloying, because this one tends to be cloying a bit over the top. It got like a masculine vibe going on there, which I don't get from here. But these two, I would certainly say, if you haven't tested this one and you were just wondering what this one smells like, it will remind you a lot of Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. Next up is Ted Lapidus. I was curious about this house, but I kind of suspected that they must have fragrance inspirations, or at least fragrances that will remind me of something. And Ted Lapidus Orissima smells a lot like Lancome's La Vie Belle, and honestly speaking, I love La Vie Belle. I'll always have it in my collection, but there are some DNAs that are just way overly done, and La Vie Belle by Lancome is one of them. It seems as though because of its success, every fragrance house tries their hands on it. And yeah, if you want something that's a bit affordable, you could try Ted Lapidus, and this one's called Orissima. It does smell a lot like Lancome's La Vie Belle. Paris Corner Kahila Platinum. I did a full review of this. I have done extensive reviews of some of these fragrances. The ones I've done a review of, I will try to leave links in the description. So if you're wondering what this one's all about, guys, this one is inspired by Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Beau. So if that is something that you like, and in as much as the actual fragrance that this one is inspired by is marketed as masculine, I think if you're a woman and you wanted to try this fragrance or the original, you could, because I get that bubblegum kind of ocean feel in this fragrance. And yes, Kahila Platinum by Paris Corner is inspired by Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Beau. Now we have one Zara that's very hard to find. A lot of people tell me in the comment section that Golden Decade is one of those fragrances that are on the website, off the website, but it's been sitting on the South African website, the Zara South African website, now for a while. So if you're in South Africa and you're looking for this, you can grab it. It is now available on the website. And this one reminds me a lot of YSL's Lib, but this Lib that I have is the Parfum. I'm talking about the Intense version. Although to my nose, I just get wafts of both, honestly, the Intense and the EDP. YSL's Intense or EDP, I get vibes of this in Golden Decade by Zara. So guys, I wish I had, I wish the camera could follow me around, but I thought, okay, if I'm to plug it in and plug it out, angles were going to be different. But I just found another pair. This is an example of, if you like, you're probably going to like. Okay, this is Kylie, Utopia, Vanilla Coco, 21. When I purchased this one, I wish I had actually purchased this, because I went with everybody's take of Vanilla 28 and I purchased it. But I find Vanilla 28 to be kind of like just vanilla. If you're into coconut, if you like Guerlain terracotta, okay, this is not an absolute dupe, but it's gonna give you those vibes. However, I will take Kylie Utopia Vanilla Coco over Guerlain's Terracotta. This fragrance is long lasting, it's oil based, it stays, guys. It's almost like the Patchouli Vanilla Royale, although I don't love that one as much. This fragrance is one that you may need to invest in. Yeah, if you love, this one, Guerlain Terracotta, but, we want something with a bit of some oomph, I would say go for Keali Vanilla Coco. FA Paris is a house that I have been playing around with. The pics that I have from FA Paris are kind of spot on. So this is another dupe house that you may want to look into if you are interested in dupes. And if you can afford the original, by all means, buy the original. This is just to save you some coins if this kind of video helps you. FA Paris Rose de Privé is inspired by Armani's Rose de Rabi. Armani the Privé line, Rose de Rabi. And this is a rose, kind of jammy rose, smoky combo with a little bit of some oud, in case you haven't smelled that. And it is quite long lasting as well. Now, if you're looking for Dolce & Gabbana Perfume Intense on a budget, this is one that I would recommend from Armaf. And if you have used the Armafs, you will know that the Armaf quality is up there. Okay, I don't have any complaints whatsoever. If anything, this bottle I'm pretty sure is almost done, because I have worn the heck out of this fragrance. Italiano Donna by Armaf is inspired by Dolce & Gabbana Perfume Intense. Now, another dirt cheap fragrance. I mean, if you've been seeing these bottles around, there is a range of the 007 women. Okay, it's women 1, women 2. This one's women 3. The black one, I believe, smells a lot like Haute Couture by Givenchy, just a like the EDT, not the other parfum. Let's talk about this one. James Bond 007 women 3, to my nose, smells a lot like the Lancôme Hypnose, but Eau de Toilette version. Now, Pepper Jean's London, okay, is this one. I'm going to put a close-up of the fragrances out of the box. Let me see if I can just open the bottles quickly, but I was trying to avoid that because sometimes when you open these little vials, they do drop. I've got tiles in this closet, so when they drop, they're more or less gone. So Pepper Jean's London, to me, in its opening, smells a lot like Keali's Invite Only, but it then dries down to something that feels like Yara. Okay, so it's like a mishmash of everything. But if you love your boozy kind of fragrance, because this one's got rum, you could try, this one. But this also comes across to me as unisex, so I guess anyone can wear this. I've got these two fragrances, Modern Muse Le Rouge by Estée Lauder and Elizabeth Taylor and Rouge, and what I can say is the performance in this one is way better than this one. So I think the En Rouge right there is a telltale sign, because this one goes on to say Le Rouge. And the lasting power in this, honestly, I would definitely go for the dupe as opposed to this one, but to each his own. Yara, guys, is one fragrance that confuses. I get Dior's Poison Girl Dior and Ari's Sweet Like Candy, so it's kind of like a mix of everything, and then it has like a creamy thing going on there. It's got like a marshmallow vibe as well, very sweet, beastly fragrance. If I'm to compare with this one's quite long lasting. But if you love the Ari fragrance vibe, if you love the Dior's Poison Girl, then this one is not going to disappoint. Yara by Lattafa. The next ones are going to be these ones. I'm going to have to bring them as a pair, and I'll put a close up. I do have the original Angel Share, and I can say this one is comes very close. Cocktail Intense by Fragrance World, as well as Fire Your Desire. And I did do a 3-in-1 video where I was comparing these and Camera, but I've always said that I wouldn't buy Camera by Lattafa expecting it to be an Angel's Share dupe. I get a totally different fragrance there, but obviously something that feels like it was inspired by Kilian's Angel Share. This is your closest contender with that heavy feel of oil. You can feel the intenseness in this one. If you want a lighter take, I would go for Emir Fire Your Desire by Paris Corner. If you are looking for Tom Ford's Bitter Peach on a budget, you ought to try Lattafa Sator. This one has a couple of twists. This one leans more masculine. Lattafa, used the DNA or Tom Ford's DNA as an inspiration to make this one Lattafa Sator. The next one, guys, is also from Fragrance, inspired obviously by Tom Ford's Rose Prick. And I would just say, I mean, if you've got the coins, you would rather just purchase this one. However, if you want to get a feel of what Rose Prick actually kind of smells like, this will give you a representation. However, I think this one is a bit too powdery. I know Rose Prick in itself is powdery, but I think this one takes it up a notch. So if you don't mind that, then you can purchase yourself Fragrance World's Picky Rose, which is inspired by Tom Ford's Rose Prick. Now, Kismet For Men gives me YSL's tuxedo vibes, or a bit of Roach's Moustache, or a little bit of Marc Jacobs Decadence. I've been saying this for a long time that, guys, Decadence by Marc Jacobs was discontinued, but if you're a sucker for that kind of vibe, then you may just want to try yourself Kismet For Men. It's not going to be an exact copy, but it is within the same vein. Pandora by Paris Corner, you know, Pandora. This one's La Nuit Pandora. It's kind of like a telltale sign. You can see that it is inspired. However, this one is a bit on the subtle side. I find that, you know, Lancome's La Nuit Trésor is a bit upbeat, a bit in your face, which is good for, you know, beast mode lovers. It won't disappoint. And you wanted something a bit on the affordable side, then I would recommend that you buy Pandora, La Nuit Pandora by Paris Corner. If you're into creamy fragrances, Lactonic, this is Zara's Frosted Cream, and this one is very close to Mont Blanc's signature, you know, the white one. I know they've got a flanker now and other flankers, but I know of the white one, and I haven't smelled the other ones. I did smell the white one in store, and Zara kind of nailed it here. So Frosted Cream is inspired by Mont Blanc signature. I always forget to ask you to subscribe midway. I always kind of forget that, but please do remember to subscribe if you haven't, or if you think you may not have, just do check the button, make sure that it is subscribed. I would appreciate that, guys. And now I have these two fragrances. Okay, I'm gonna say this: Kayali Vanilla 28. I'm not gonna call Vanilla 28 a dupe of our Rehab Choco Musk. However, I'm gonna say, if you love this, you know, these two are kind of, and if you love, then you will love. You know, I get the same vanilla vibes now, because the Rehabs obviously are very you know, affordable, so it's going to be entirely up to you. I'm just plugging you in. You know, if you want something that smells like Kayali Vanilla 28, you may want to try our Rehab Choco Musk, although our Rehab Choco Musk on its own is inspired by Montal's Chocolate Greedy. Now, here's a favorite for many: Swiss Arabian Rose 01. Okay, if you are looking for a proper dupe of Delina, if you are looking for a fragrance that's gonna walk the walk and talk the talk, then Swiss Arabia's Rose 01 is right there. It's gonna be right up your alley. This is one that you have to spray cautiously, guys, because this thing is so strong. This is almost parallel. This is like the same thing. I mean, it smells, you know, it smells exactly like Delina, and it performs exactly like Delina. Next up is Zara's Tropical Boost, which is inspired by Marc Jacobs Perfect. I gave this one a sniff. I was doing a vlog and I told you guys 101 in the store that, guys, I literally couldn't tell the difference. Okay, this is Tropical Boost by Zara. If you wanted to know what you know, Marc Jacobs smells like, Perfect, the original, not the intense, because they've got the intense now, then this is definitely one that's not going to let you down. I got a discovery set of Al Aniq. Okay, Al Aniq. Haven't tried any of the fragrances, but did try one called Oud Jamal, and I thought to bring it here. Okay, this is the tester. I think there were 12 or so. I'm going to do a separate video. Oud Jamal smells a lot like Tom Ford's Black Orchid. This is not Tom Ford's Black Orchid, but I just thought to bring them, you know, at the same time, because this is by Art Al-Zafran, Oud 24 Hours. And if you know, this took over the internet because it does smell a lot like Tom Ford Black Orchid. So I do get the same vibes here. These two guys are inspired by Tom Ford's Black Orchid. If you're looking for a Baccarat Rouge 540 dupe, this was introduced by Lattafa last year. Lattafa Aura is inspired by Baccarat Rouge 540, the X-ray, and this one has decent lasting power, guys. Kudos to them. It comes in a 60 ml, and I think I like this bottle. Lattafa Aura will give you similar vibes to MFK's 540. I have done a review, guys, of Kismet For Women. Okay, this one is your soapy floral scent, but a bit lighter. It's like a bit toned down on the floralness, leaning a bit shampooy, that sort of thing. And it is inspired by Killian's Good Girl Gone Bad. This fragrance, guys, Cherry Smoothie by Zara. I mean, Cherry Smoothie by Zara, what can I say? This is inspired by Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. I did a full review of it, guys, and I did tell you that this one has got like a sherbety kind of thing going on there, but very youthful, while Tom Ford's Lost Cherry is a bit on the I would say I get a little bit of some matureness there from the cherry, the way it's made here. The way this cherry comes across is a bit juvenile, but also very long lasting. I don't know how they managed to do that. So if you're looking for a cheapie that's going to smell like Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, then you may want to try Zara's Cherry Smoothie. Guys, I was trying this Club de Nuit women versus, versus obviously Coco Mademoiselle. I just have no words. If you were looking for an alternative to Coco Mademoiselle by Chanel, I've tried them side by side. And again, like I say, I mean, by all means, if you can afford to buy the original, go ahead and buy the original. But I'm just plugging you on this, guys, I think Armaf knew what they were doing. Next up, guys, is Jeanne Arthes. This is going to depend on accessibility. I'm not sure about the distribution of this company, whether their fragrances are accessible everywhere, but I've seen a couple of them on eBay. So I guess if you can buy on eBay and they can ship to you, then it will do. Guipure and Silk by Jeanne Arthes. This one's very light, but it is, similar to Hypnotic Poison by Dio. I mean, to the T. The only problem I have with this one is it's a very light fragrance. If you don't mind and you're into light fragrances, then yes, you may want to try Jeanne Arthes, Guipure and Silk. Next up, guys, is Lattafa's Nebraska Gold. This goes without say. Billie Eilish. A lot of people have raved about this one. It's a chocolate delight caramel. Everything yummy. I mean, you've got to love sweet fragrances for you to tolerate or even, want to smell like this. But this is Lattafa Nebraska, and it smells a lot like Billie Eilish. Paris Corner again, a mere Frenetic Delicieuse. Okay, a mere Frenetic Delicieuse. There you have it. This one is inspired by Dio's Fève Delicieuse. It also has your caramel there, a little bit of some booziness going on there, but if you want to try that just to see if you will like the actual thing, this one is pretty close enough, and you can see by my dent that I do love this fragrance a lot. Swiss Arabia's Valencia is up on my channel if you want an extensive review, guys. This is your sweet apple forward fragrance, very summery in nature, also appropriate for spring, but to top it off, it smells identical to Montal's Starry Night. So if you are wondering what Starry Night smells like, then you may want to try Swiss Arabia's Valencia. Now talk of a beastly Zara. Guys. Zara's Fields at Nightfall will deliver to a T, and this is a floral. It's your Zadig and Voltaire. This is her dupe. This, guys, is so strong, it gives me a headache most of the time. I'm just keeping it for very cold weather to see how that works. Otherwise, I may have to let it go because it is a very strong fragrance. But it's not that the fragrance is bad. It's a beautiful fragrance, but it's just there is a combination of something in here, or a patchouli or something, that is just too much and kind of like triggers my headaches. But this is her by Zadig and Voltaire, was duped by Zara, and the fragrance from Zara is called Fields at Nightfall. So I came across these interesting bottles while I was doing perfume shopping, and this is from Paris Corner, the Amir line again. This one's called Wayward Charlie. This is inspired, guys, by Frank Broccoli's Cocaine, but I would like to believe that Cocaine by Frank Broccoli itself is also inspired by Tom Ford's Orchid Soleil. I don't know, I could be wrong, it could be vice versa, but it smells a lot like a Tom Ford's Orchid Soleil to a T. This is the fragrance here, a mere Wayward Charlie. Another shameless dupe, okay, FA Paris Brush. Come on, when I say shameless, I'm just saying because they copied the bottle. Okay, there's very little to the left to the imagination right there, except just for the cap perhaps. This FA Paris a brush, come on, is inspired by Amouage Crimson Rocks. I love it a lot. It's a powdery rose, soapy as well, musky as well. It does give me very serious mature office vibes. There you have it, guys, a brush. Come on. If you're looking for Bouvari Jasmine Noir, the EDT version, then you may want to try Jeanne Arthes, okay, Sultan Noir Velours, okay. This one smells almost identical. The lasting power is not great, but it's not that bad. Okay, guys, I've spoken about this fragrance a lot, but I just thought I should add it here in case some of you missed it, or in case you're here for the first time and you've never heard me talk about it. There's a full review of a Tar Collection Calta Night. It smells a lot to me like Tom Ford's Lost Cherry, a little bit like Angel Share, like, you know, like Tom Ford Lost Cherry and Angel Share had a baby somewhere there, but it's a boozy, cherry forward kind of fragrance, and it does have a great lasting power as well. In case you see these bottles flying around and you were just wondering, I thought to edit here and to mention that. Next up is this gorgeous bottle, guys. This is from Arthes Zafran. You're looking for a Tom Ford Tuscan leather vibe fragrance. This is gonna give it to you. It's kind of subtle. It's a bit on the sweet side. The oud here is not as loud. This is called Shalima Oud. I've got fragrances flying about, so as I'm thinking of them, I'm just picking them and then, you know, kind of looking for them and then coming back into short to show you. Twit by Maison Alhambra. This goes without say. You can see right there, okay, they try to copy everything. Honestly, this is a mini, that's why it doesn't have the actual twilly there, but a Twit by Maison Alhambra is inspired by Hermes Twilly Dermis, and I must say, you know, the lasting power in here is not bad. It's not bad at all. And look at my dent. Okay, I use this one a lot because I find that it's a beautiful summery scent. Paris Corner Cafe Intense is here, right here, guys. This is obviously inspired by Intense Cafe. I get like a beautiful chocolate here. There is a chocolate going on here. I just love it, guys. This is monster fragrances, but it's off Paris Corner, and this one is called Cafe Intense, and it's duping Intense Cafe. Now, I featured this one in my boozy fragrances, and this is Latafa Morha. This one's marketed for men, and if you are into like a jammy fragrance, a boozy fragrance right there, and you can see just by this that the telltale signs are just this part of it. This fragrance is inspired by Penhaligon's Helvetii leather, but I also want to say slash cedar. I think it's a fusion of both because I get some booziness here. I get like dried fruits. Yes, absolutely something that I would recommend from Latafa. If you're looking for Roaring Redcliffe by Penhaligon's and you're tight on a budget, there is a company called Flavia. Okay, Flavia Perfumes, and this is a subsidiary of Armaf. They have this fragrance. It's called Georgians The Lion's Heart, and this one is inspired by Penhaligon's Roaring Redcliffe. So I have a mini of Misguided. I'm going to bring another Misguided here in a bit. I just remembered I'm going to have to search around for the Misguided Babe Power. This is Babe Vibes, and this is a mini, obviously. Okay, if you're looking for something that smells like Ellie Sub, Girl of Now, I get a lot of similarities with Misguided Babe Vibes, and this one I believe is cheaper than Girl of Now, although Girl of Now is not that expensive, but I'm just saying it just depends on where you are geographically. This might turn out to be cheaper than Girl of Now by Elisa. Okay, I did show you a bottle that looked very similar to this one, but this one is not the same as that one. That one was Wayward Charlie. This one is Forbidden Sugar. It's also duping Frank Bartley. It has marshmallow. It is very sugary. It's like syrupy, sticky, sweet. So this is a fragrance that's going to appeal to people who love very sweet fragrance. This one's called White Oud Perfumes. I'm not sure if you can see. Let me see if I can maybe put it closer. This one's actually up to here. I've used the heck out of this fragrance. Okay, it is a floral, it's powdery, it's got tuberose, and it smells almost identical to Armani Rouge Malachi, but it's got the same vibes as well as YSL's Supreme Bouquet, and I think that's what they were going for, because this one is called Bouquet Supreme, gold, and it's by the company White Oud Perfumes. I get a vibe of both YSL Supreme Bouquet and what feels like Armani Privé Rouge Malachi. Next up, guys, is this giant bottle, Lattafa, and this is Legacy, and I did a full review of it. In case you're interested in that, you can go ahead and watch the full review. But let me say, this is a blue aquatic fragrance, something that I was not expecting. It smells very masculine, very summery, out of the gym, out of the shower kind of fragrance. The lasting power as well is not synonymous to some of the Lattafas that we know. The lasting power is not that great, but again, I think it was just meant to be a subtle fragrance. If you're looking for a fragrance that has that similar vibe to Perfumes de Marly Sedley, this is probably one that might do it for you. Now, this plug that I'm giving you now is kind of strange. Okay, why? Because Ex Nihilo Santal Calling is a 2022 composition, while Zara's Rich, Warm and Addictive has been around the block for a couple of years, maybe 3-4 years. Okay, but to some extent I get something that feels like Ex Nihilo Santal Calling in Zara Rich, Warm and Addictive, but I must say it's a very diluted kind of feel, as though this one is way into the dry down, because this one's quite a strong, like a long lasting fragrance. So I kind of get it like way into the dry down. I think they dry down similar. Honestly, if you were wondering what Ex Nihilo Santal Calling smells like, I'd say, you know, this is kind of similar to this, but I'm not saying it's a dupe. I'm just saying if you love this one, you're probably gonna love this one, or vice versa. Next up, guys, is this. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know what to say. Okay, I do know what to say. All this work for a fragrance that's just gonna smell like Gucci Bloom. I don't know how these guys managed to do it. I have nothing against Gucci Bloom, but it's a bit overkill. Okay, and when I did my review, I did say that maybe it's inspired by Elisa Bleu Parfum Royal, because then maybe it would be the reason why it's blue, you know, because I put in all this work, and you know, after opening it and spraying it, and it's just like another floral, you know, and not even a floral that's all that. I mean, honestly. So anyway, Iman by Lattafa, to my nose, smells a lot like Gucci Bloom and maybe Elisa Bleu Parfum Royal. Okay, honestly. So yeah, that's it for that one. Okay, now kudos to FA Paris, and I'll tell you why. Okay, this is why I say kudos to FA Paris. This fragrance is called The Fire. Now, if anyone from FA Paris is listening to me, guys, continue doing it like this. Duping doesn't have to be the bottle. Everything, you know, I mean, it's kind of disrespectful, honestly. And I think this, okay, and then this, I think, no, okay, the juice is great, but they should have done it like this. You know, this fragrance is called The Fire, and it's duping Louis Vuitton's Nuit de Feu. If I'm botching that, guys, pardon me. But look at this. There's nothing to say that is what it's duping until you put it to your nose, until you spray it. You know, we also want an element of surprise. We love dupes, but we do love an element of surprise. Stop making it obvious, guys. I think it's very disrespectful. I think it's unnecessary. You know, the fragrance fanatics like myself will figure it out. So don't worry about that. There's no need to go overboard and copy the whole lot. I think it's really unnecessary. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, in case I didn't say, okay, this is FA Paris The Fire. Okay, after that rant, FA Paris The Fire Eau de Parfum, and it's duping Louis Vuitton Nuit de Feu. It's not a very wise blind buy. It's not blind buy safe. It's rubbery. It's very nichey. It might come across as very chemical to somebody who's never used niche fragrances, but it's a very nice one. I love it. I really love this one. If you're on the hunt for Lancome's Oud Bouquet and you want something subtle, you want something from Lattafa, or Lattafa is what you can access. I know Oud Mood has been likened to that fragrance a lot until I smelled this one, Sheikh Al Shayuk Luxe Edition. This one doesn't push it. It's a very subtle version, very well blended version, and it smells a lot, guys, like Lancome's Oud Bouquet. Look at the bottle. Okay, look at the bottle. It smells a lot like Lancome Oud Bouquet. So if you're looking for an alternative, I'll definitely recommend Lattafa's Sheikh Al Shayuk the Luxe edition. I did tell you guys that I had another misguided fragrance. This one's called Babe Power. If you're looking for, let me just show you again. If you're looking for Dior, this is a roller pearl, by the way, but it is Dior's Hypnotic Poison. Okay, just a close up there. If you're looking for Hypnotic Poison, you don't mind a synthetic kind of feel, you don't mind a chemical kind of feel, you don't mind a plasticky kind of feel, you want like a caramel forward, a little bit more powdery version, then this one's going to do it for you. I do get Dior's Hypnotic Poison vibes in Misguided Babe Power, and this one's way affordable. I don't know what fragrance number we are on, but I'm trying to get 50-60. Okay, so next one is gonna be Brown Orchid Amethyst. This is also from Fragrance World. If you know the Fragrance World logo, this one by the color purple, you will know that it's gonna do a purple fragrance. So if you're into Mugler Erlin, this one's not gonna disappoint you. I actually like this. I think it's well made. So yeah, Brown Orchid Amethyst is a dupe of Mugler's Alien. Now these two do not vibe in a similar way. I get something that feels like I get something that feels like, you know, hairspray, a hairspray opening in this one. I get a pen, a felt pen kind of feel in this one, something that feels like ink, but both of them lead to the same thing. The dry down is identical, guys, to Baccarat Rouge 540, the EDP. So if you are looking for, you know, an alternative, you may want to try Lattafa Anna Abiade Rouge, and you can try Zara's Red Temptation. They both smell like Baccarat Rouge 540. Another pair that is not related. Okay, these are two different houses, but they're duping the same thing, so I thought to bring them as a pair. This is Maison Alhambra, and this is Musk Vanille, and this is White Oud Perfumes, and this is Feyrouz. These two are inspired by Montal's Roses Musk. So one is Maison Alhambra Musk Vanille, and the other one is White Oud Perfume Feyrouz. So it's going to depend on which one you can get your hands on. Guys, if you're on a budget and you wanted to smell like Tom Ford Santal Blush, this is a recommendation. Adam Levine Her smells a lot like Santal Blush, but obviously this is like a lighter version. I get about 4 hours, 4.5 pushing it of longevity here, but it's a very well blended fragrance. I like it. You always see these bottles and you know wanted, you know, a whiff of this, and you were wondering, this is Guerlain, and this one's called Idili, okay, or Idili, I don't know, but it's from Guerlain, and I believe they have repackaged. This is I think the old packaging, but this smells a lot to me like Sarah Jessica Parker's Lovely. After I purchased this, because it was a blind buy, I actually thought I had smelled this before, and I thought, oh, okay, it smells a lot like Sarah Jessica Parker's Lovely or Narciso Rodriguez. Can't remember the Narciso Rodriguez one, but yeah, the DNA here is not what I was expecting from Guerlain, but there you have it. I have told you. Bella Vita Rosa, guys. Okay, Guess Bella Vita Rosa. I actually like this fragrance, but I believe, you know, it does share the same DNA as Versace Eros. Mine is a little mini, so don't worry about the size. It smells almost identical to Versace Eros Pour Femme. So guys, I think we've done it. I just thought to do a video where I will walk in my closet. I didn't want to, you know, be unplugging the camera and whatever, but I was going off camera and coming back and picking one and just showing you. And I thought this video is going to be interesting and something that you can binge watch on. Thank you so much, guys. If you have stayed this far, thank you so much. You know, leave a heart in the comment section. Tell me you've stayed so far, and you know, tell me if this video was helpful, and I hope it was. C Chronicles is my name. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we discuss more, obviously, about fragrances. Like this video if you like it, and share it if you want to share it, but most importantly, turn on post notifications. That way, guys, you will be notified anytime I upload a video. And remember to subscribe, and also remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.